I am back as I promised with the small factory form desktops, and we're gonna take a look at video card upgrade options. I got a lot of questions. What kind of card would it make sense? Can I install a double-slotted video card in a Dell OptiPlex 7820? And we're gonna have our first card, which is the RTX 3050 OC. This is the one and only dual-slotted video card. I had high hopes about this card. I was pretty sure that this card probably will outperform this NVIDIA T1000 professional card, and it does. Every single segment, any kind of benchmark games, DaVinci Resolve, anything I run, this card is significantly better than the T1000 and significantly affordable. This, I think, on Amazon cost about $167, and as used or as on eBay, I think the starting prices goes around $200. This is the one and only card which cost way more on eBay for some reason than on Amazon, for example. As you can see, we have a nice heat skin, the copper heat pipe on it, we have dual fans, and we have no power supply, extra 6-pin or 8-pin requirement on this particular card. So this is a great option for a small factory form PC. This also comes with a half height or a full height bracket, so if you have multiple computers, which I do, then I can move this easily between different desktops. Since we're talking about NVIDIA, here's the T1000. The cooling on this card is disappointing already. We have 4 display ports in here, and I thought when it's going to come down to the DaVinci Resolve, and it's going to come down to the PC Mark 10, which performs like office applications, video editing, pictures, stuff like that, this will shine and going to be significantly better than the gaming card, which is significantly cheaper. No, this card landed at 3rd place in almost every single benchmark and every single application. So if this card landed in 3rd place, which one was our 2nd place winner? This card. This is a Dell branded RX6500. First of all, when you buy an OptiPlex or Precision workstation, Dell is giving you these entry-level professional cards like this RX6500 or this T1000, and I had no idea how this card will perform, especially since if you're looking at the PCI Express slot, we can only use 4 lanes from the slot. The rest of the slot is empty. There is not even connectors in here. And the price, pretty much this card flies under the radar. If you are not a Dell user or a Dell fan, you don't know that this card is actually exists. People are usually getting the RX6400. The 6500, I scored this card as an open box item on eBay for $67, and this card is amazing. I'm gonna put it right here. And lastly, I had this card already. It's an RX550. It's still available on Amazon. It's new, I think cost about $70. For as used, you can get it on eBay for $30–40. I wanted to include this card. A lot of us had this card in the past, and it's not an up-to-date card. But if you have one of these and want to upgrade to the rest of them, this will give you a pretty much baseline what this card is capable to do compared to the other ones. And in here I have a Lenovo M900. I brought it in. I just wanted to show you what's the main difference when we can have a little bit wider or longer than a standard Dell small factory form. Actually, we're gonna see what kind of options we have regards of video cards. Now we have a 7000, and this is called a standard. So what we're gonna have here is 2 problematic parts. First of all, as you can see, the only slot what we have here, the 16-lane slot, is right next to the power supply, so therefore no dual slotted card can be added because the fan and the cooling is unfortunately on this side, on the wrong side, if we can say so, and we're gonna hit the power supply. So therefore we can only install single slotted cards in this slot, but the problem is the power supply. Let me show you a couple footages what happens when we put either the RX6500 or a T1000 into this PC, and we're gonna start playing a game or pushing a benchmark. By average, we're gonna draw 160, 170 watt constantly. If this is a 180 watt power supply, don't think that it's gonna last too long. It's gonna probably damage this power supply or damage the motherboard on a long run. I would not do that. I suggest if you have a standard and you have a 180 watt power supply, get at least a 260 or a 300 just like this. You can get these on eBay for around $40-50, and then just get the cheapest card if you can. A lot of them is on sale for $100 best offer. RX6500, as you're gonna see in the charts, second place in almost everything. In one particular case was able to beat even a 3050 OC. So as you can see, standard, we have only this single slotted option in here, the blue slot. So let me move this out of the way, and don't forget the power supply. The 7020 standard plus the same thing. This one has an open ended slot right here, just like the previous model I showed you. And as you can see, there is a cutout in a heatskin. The card will just be sitting between these two lines in here on a heatskin, and it will work. So let me move this front bezel and show you that I actually ended up adding an extra fan which sucks a cold air through this way and pushing it to the video card. All these cards, as the better performing cards, are getting extremely hot in a small factory form, this small cramped space, and all of them will go to about 80-90. This NVIDIA T1000 goes up to 94 Celsius or 180-190 Fahrenheit after just a little bit of benchmarks or gaming, and it's gonna stay there. So every single airflow will help. I was not a fan of this funnel in here and sucking the hot air out and pushing it out, and has this in here. I tried to put a Noctua, a low profile cooler in it. I almost cooked the PC. There is no airflow with a Noctua. You definitely have to have this design, which proves the point that I'm just an armchair expert, and Dell has probably an army of engineers, and they know better. They know what they're doing. And a standard, it's a cheaper model. If it's on sale, you can get this for $650, while the standard plus will cost $200 or $300 more by default. And that's because at least this has a capability to put a dual slotted video card in it. There's not a whole lot of difference performance wise in some applications, but if I'm running, like for example DaVinci Resolve, and I have a 33-minute 4K video footage, when I'm rendering that, this card gets done in 12 minutes. This card gets done in about 22-23 minutes, while the RX, this is the only place when it's not shining, 32 minutes. That's a huge difference if you have to sit by the computer and wait until the rendering is done. This card, none DaVinci Resolve, not even opening or running when I have this old card. So just as a demonstration. So if you have any concern what happens when you put this RX 3050 in this 4-lane slot in here, performance wise, because we are not utilizing the full length of this bus, absolutely nothing. I removed this power supply, so I was able to put it in this blue slot. Same thing, I had a Dell Precision Workstation 2024 model here a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. I put this in, absolutely no difference. Putting in a Gen 5 PCI Express slot did not give me any benefit. I have a custom built PC with an i9 CPU, an up-to-date motherboard. I put it in exactly by the dot. I'm getting the benchmarks what I'm getting on this PC, so there is absolutely no worry that it's gonna sit in this short slot. It's fine. What we have to worry about, power consumption and heat. One of my favorite benchmark is Wukong. Definitely, it's a fantastic game, and the benchmark is so accurate. I can run this benchmark back to back 5-6 times. It's almost exactly the same. I absolutely love it. Pretty much on all the way to the top is the 3550 as expected, and it's a really good card, really affordable. I wouldn't venture again up to the 4060 low profile because of power and the heat. If this thing is technically rated to pull normally 60-65 watt, the 4060 I believe is rated to 110. We cannot draw that. We cannot take that power out. So as always, I'm really thankful for your likes, comments, and hitting the subscribe button. This is a self-sponsored channel. There is no advertisement in here. There's nothing to sell, nothing to purchase. So I really appreciate your support, and your comments and feedback is always welcome on this channel. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you at the next video. Scott's out.